It takes around 40 minutes to get from Watford Junction to Charing Cross, travelling a distance of 16 miles. That's slightly less than the time it takes coming from Upminster or Epping. On TfL Transport, Epping to Charing Cross is 16 miles, taking 50 minutes. And Upminster is around a 40-minute journey and is 17 miles out of central London. But it still costs more to travel from Watford than it does from either of these stations. The difference is the zones allocated by TfL. Upminster and Epping are in Zone 6, whereas Watford is in Zone 9, where special fares apply. This pricing structure has triggered a petition calling for TfL to dramatically change its zoning system.
Well, if you live in Epping, the maximum fare you can pay to go into London is £12. In Watford, it's £23. And actually, we're closer to London. So that just seems just a bit bonkers, really. And I think for us, that's the killer issue. This is about fairness. I would love to hear the rationale of why my residents have to pay nearly £100 a month more to get into work than people, the other side of the capital. We are talking tens of thousands of people on a daily basis trudging into work, feeling that they're being ripped off.
It's not that far from London, and you see a big price difference because it does rack up, especially as we're not that far from like Stanmore, Edgware. I could just get the bus to there, but it just makes life much harder.
It'll affect me positively because, maybe my flat will go up in price.
Usually I get the bus in the mornings, but if the train's fares were lower, then I would be taking the train.
Well, I'm sure that we would travel into London much more if we lived, say, like East Court, where our friends can go free. It's very discouraging that we actually have to pay.
If these plans were to go ahead, this would not be the first time areas of London have been rezoned. Just last year, 8 underground rail and DLR stations were changed on the London Tube map.
There is precedent, so there are a lot of zones that have been changed, a lot of stations have been changed zones around London, so we saw that just recently. 1st of January, I think Stratford changed, for example. So there are changes, there is precedent here, and I think it should go ahead, so we'll keep trying. And we've been writing and lobbying to every stakeholder we can possibly get our hands to, because this is a really serious issue, and really positive response. We just need to keep going, and hopefully we'll get the change.
London Live asked TfL for a response on this issue and were told there's no current plans to rezone stations in Watford, but the Mayor has frozen all fares set by TfL for the next 4 years, helping millions of Londoners with the cost of commuting. This shows despite the campaign gathering force, for the time being it looks like there is no solution to this issue currently on track.